The moment every Fever fan dreaded has finally arrived. Caitlin Clark, the brightest star in women's basketball and the WNBA's undeniable golden goose, is officially done for the 2025 season. The announcement came straight from Clark and the Indiana Fever on social media, confirming what many suspected but refused to accept. Her comeback bid has fallen short, her body ran out of time, and Indiana will have to chase the playoffs without the player who transformed them into must-see television. The wording of the post was blunt but heartbreaking. Clark admitted she had been grinding every single day with one goal in mind: to get back on the court, only to face the reality that her body wasn't ready. "Disappointed isn't a big enough word," she said. For fans, those words echoed their own feelings. The season wasn't just a setback for Clark, it was a gut punch to the league itself, because when Caitlin Clark isn't on the floor, the entire WNBA feels the absence. From the outside, the announcement feels like the end of a season-long mystery. Fans were strung along for months with cautious optimism, vague day-to-day labels, and hints that Clark was nearly ready to return. Ticket sales skyrocketed at every stop, fueled by the idea that Clark might suit up that night. Arenas expanded to fit larger crowds. Opposing teams marketed her as the attraction. And now, as refunds begin pouring in, the question hangs heavy. Was this season mismanaged from the start? Did the Fever and the league know far earlier that Clark wasn't coming back, yet choose to protect ticket sales instead of fans' trust? To understand how we got here, we have to trace the full arc of her sophomore season. What looked like a breakout year unraveled almost immediately with a chain reaction of injuries that left her body fighting against itself. It began in May, with quad tightness that forced her to miss a preseason game. Just 4 games into the regular season, she strained the same left quad again, missing more time. By late June, the pain had spread, this time manifesting as a left groin strain. Then came the breaking point. On July 15th, in the final minute of a game against the Connecticut Sun, Clark went down clutching her right groin. The sight was chilling. The league's top draw was carried off, and the reality began to sink in. Her season might already be lost. It all boiled over on July 15th. Clark had just carried Indiana to an emotional win when her right groin gave out in the final minute. That was the season-ending moment, and in hindsight, it wasn't bad luck. It was the inevitable result of piling stress on a body that never healed properly. Specialists will tell you, when a quad doesn't recover fully, the strain shifts to the groin. When one groin goes, the other often follows. Add in relentless physical punishment every time Clark stepped on the floor, and the collapse feels less like chance and more like the conclusion of a dangerous pattern. Fans saw it too. Clips circulated of Clark being hacked, shoved, and bullied with little whistle protection. Social media boiled over with outrage. How could the league's marquee player, the one who single-handedly boosted ratings and attendance, be treated like just another rookie? Some commentators went further, calling it workplace negligence. The WNBA marketed her as the face of the league, but on the court she was left exposed to constant hits that accelerated her breakdown. And then there's the business side. Each time the Fever labeled her day-to-day, they bought themselves another round of full arenas and nationals broadcasts. Fans bought tickets hoping to see her return, only to watch her sit in street clothes. Refund requests are now stacking up, and the perception is clear. The league wasn't transparent, and fans feel duped. Whether that was intentional deception or simply wishful optimism, the credibility hit is the same. The WNBA's short-term gamble has backfired in spectacular fashion. For Clark, the numbers show what could have been. In her 13 games, she still averaged 16.5 points, 8.8 assists, and 5 rebounds, numbers that put her among the league's most dynamic playmakers. She delivered a Commissioner's Cup title. She produced viral highlights, including a 9-point burst in just 40 seconds against the Liberty that fans are already calling one of the greatest sequences in league history. And she did it all while hurt. That's the bitterest part. Clark never got a real sophomore season, and yet even compromised. She gave the WNBA some of its brightest moments. Her official statement laid bare the emotional toll. "I spent hours in the gym every day with the singular goal of getting back out there," she wrote. Disappointed is not a big enough word, but she also thanked fans, praising the way they continued to show up for her and the Fever, calling it a source of joy even in her frustration. That balance, raw honesty and gratitude, is what makes Clark different. She doesn't need theatrics. She lets her game and her humility speak, and fans connect with that authenticity. Meanwhile, The Fever are left scrambling. With 3 games remaining, they sit at 21-20, clinging to the 8th and final playoff spot. The Sparks are right behind them, just a game and a half back. Every possession now feels like life or death. Without Clark, the Fever's survival depends on their veterans and role players stepping up. Kelsey Mitchell has become the offensive engine, her scoring keeping Indiana competitive when the offense stalls. Aaliyah Boston has been the rock inside, rebounding, defending, and forcing opponents to double team her. Lexi Hull's perimeter defense and Sophie Cunningham's toughness have become essential, while hardship signings like Odyssey Sims and Shaw Petty give coach Stephanie White enough depth to keep the rotation steady. It isn't glamorous, but it's kept Indiana alive. White has emphasized collective responsibility, pushing her team to find new ways to win rather than trying to replicate Clark's brilliance. If the Fever make the playoffs, it won't be because of smoke and mirrors. It will be because they adapted, because they fought through chaos, and because they refused to fold. But the larger picture is harder to escape. Clark's injury has exposed fault lines in the league itself. Fans have lost trust in the updates. Commentators are openly questioning officiating. And the WNBA's credibility has taken a hit just as it was finally breaking through into mainstream coverage. This was supposed to be the season of Caitlin Clark, the year the league capitalized on its biggest star to expand its reach. Instead, it has become a cautionary tale about transparency, player protection, and the risks of marketing one player above all else. The Fever's GM Amber Cox insisted the organization's priority was Clark's long-term health, promising she would return at full strength in 2026. That is the right answer, but it doesn't erase the frustrations of a season where fans felt misled and Clark's body was left to carry too much. In the end, this season will be remembered as both a lost year and a revealing one. It showed Clark's grit, her willingness to give everything to her team. It showed Indiana's resilience in refusing to collapse without her. And it showed the WNBA how fragile its momentum is when everything rests on one player's shoulders. So now the focus shifts. Can Indiana make the playoffs without her? Can Mitchell, Boston, and the rest carry them through the final stretch? Or will the Sparks overtake them and end the Fever's run before it begins? Whatever happens, one truth is already certain. Caitlin Clark's absence has reshaped this season, not just for Indiana, but for the entire league. Her sophomore year may be gone, but her impact is undeniable. And when she returns in 2026, she'll be stepping back into a league that desperately needs her and a fan base that won't forget the year they lost her.